Live from the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Tonight, the New York Yankees take on the Oakland Athletics. Hi, everybody. Bill White here along with the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. And tonight, Scooter, game 2 of this three-game set with the A's. And the A's last night in 14 innings beat the Yankees.
Well, I tell you, the Oakland A's are for real. These are the kind of games that the Yankees would always manage to win somewhere along the line. People would say, oh, those lucky Yankees. But they took advantage of every opportunity they had, which is an old Yankee tradition. The other team makes a mistake, you take advantage and you sneak in.
Conversely, yesterday, of course, the Yankees they were the team that made the mistake.
Yeah, there were about 3 plays that could have changed the complexion of the game, but you know, as I say, they're entitled to that. They're playing good ball. The strange thing is they've won 16-8 at home and 16-8 on the road, which is unusual.
Now, Al Leiter, the young left-hander, who we have quite a few times on our broadcast, will try to turn it around tonight for the Yankees.
Well, I tell you, he had a must-win game the last time, or a good pitch game the last time, or he might have been sent out, and he pitched one of the best games, I guess the best game he's had up here in the Major Leagues, and we're looking for the same thing tonight.
The Yankees making more changes. Ron Guidry now has been placed on the disabled list.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and Gator looked good. He was out warming up a little while ago, and I thought he was going to be on it, and I don't know about Candelario, whether he's going to be all right. Santana was hit in the arm. They got Tollison brought up just in case. So things are happening.
Well, right now, they feel that there's a possibility that Candelario might miss a turn, although Candy says he wants to pitch. Guidry throwing, as you mentioned, he's been placed on the list because Billy simply doesn't think he's ready.
That's true, and they brought up this kid, Ippolito Pena, from the Dominican Republic, a left-hand pitcher who did very well down in Columbus. And I guess they figure they're going to need somewhere along the line if this continues.
Well, you mentioned Tollison's here because Santana got hit yesterday. Of course, Santana's in the lineup. He will play, so Tollison certainly will not be activated, at least not tonight.
No, but it's good to see Wayne Tollison back, and we watched him in batting practice and infield practice, and he looks like he's got that good bounce back.
Now, Gary Ward still has to play first base. Don Mattingly is still on the disabled list, and he'll be there probably for another dozen days.
He will, but you know what? A lot of people forget that in case the Yankees need another first baseman, Jack Clark has played a lot of first base in the National League, right?
Yeah, but do you want to expose Jack Clark? You know, he's subject to injury, and I'm sure the Yankees would rather just use him to swing the bat and hit the home run, stay off the base paths as possible, and don't expose him at first base.
No, you're absolutely right. That's why you'd be a good manager, not me, White. I'd never look at those things.
So, Al, it's a gorgeous day here in the Bay Area. The Oakland Alameda Coliseum, as you see, the Oakland A's are taking the field. The 3rd game of this 3-game series between the Yankees and the Oakland A's. And the A's have won 1, and the Yankees have won 1. Neil Allen's performance last night shutting out the Oakland A's in a unexpected appearance that early in the ball game as Leiter left after the first pitch of the game. Neil Allen came on to shut down the Oakland A's. But this afternoon, the Yankees in the finale, as they will move on to Baltimore after this game this afternoon. We'll take a look at the Yankee lineup. First of all, leading off and playing left field, as always, Ricky Henderson. Batting second, Bobby Meacham at second base. Willie Randolph is still bothered with that sore left hamstring. Jay Buhner is in the lineup this afternoon against the lefty Kurt Young. He will play center field and bat third. Jack Clark, the designated hitter, in the cleanup spot. Dave Winfield continues with that hot hitting. He will be batting fifth and playing right field. Gary Ward at first base, with Don Mattingly still on the disabled list, batting sixth. Mike Pagliarulo batting seventh at third base. Santana in the eighth slot playing the shortstop position. Joel Skinner, the catcher, batting ninth. And Charles Hudson on the mound with a record of 4-1, 3.48 earned run average, his 5th start this year and 12th appearance. For the Oakland A's, their lineup looks like this. Carney Lansford leads off and plays third base. Batting second, the switch hitter Stan Javier in left field. Jose Canseco in right field, batting third. Dave Parker, the designated hitter, in the cleanup spot. Mark McGuire at first base. The Yankees have really done a job on him. He's only 1 for 9 in this series and 1 for 20 in the 3 games or 5 games that the A's and the Yankees have played, both at Yankee Stadium and here at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. Ron Hassey does the catching, batting fifth, batting sixth, that is. Dave Henderson in center field, batting seventh. Glenn Hubbard, the second baseman, batting eighth. Walt Weiss, the rookie shortstop, batting ninth. And Kurt Young, the left-hander, on the mound for the Oakland A's this afternoon with a record of 4-2, 3.55 earned run average. The 9th start of the season for the youngster Kurt Young, a record of 4-3, 3.17 against the New York Yankees career-wise. The umpires behind home plate, Rick Reed. At first base, John Hirschbeck. At second base, Rich Garcia. And at third base, Dale Scott. The Yankees come into this contest with a record of 33-16. They are 2.5 games ahead of the Cleveland Indians in the Eastern Division. And on the other side, the Oakland A's with a record of 35-15 and just blowing everybody away in that Western Division, 9 games ahead of Minnesota. But after this game, the Oakland A's will move on to Minnesota to play a 3-game series there this weekend. So it should be an important series for Oakland and also Minnesota. We are about ready to get underway, and here to tell you all about it is the Hawk, Ian Harrelson.
Thank you very much, Bobby. And once again, good afternoon, everyone. So happy you could join us. A beautiful day here in Northern California. Ricky Henderson to lead it off. Ricky coming in hitting a .317, 4 homers, 22 RBIs against the southpaw Kurt Young. Takes the ball, and the game is underway. Young, not overpowering. He throws the sinker, the curveball, but the pitch that he will have to get over this afternoon to beat the Yankees is the change. He has an outstanding change. 1-1 the count to Ricky. Ricky, 8 for his last 38. That's cute. And the count 1-2. And against Oakland, they have done a good job on Henderson in the first 5 ball games. He is just 3 for 21. Outfield bunched a bit. The Oakland outfield has been bunching almost all Yankee hitters. They have good speed at the corners in Javier in left and Canseco in right. Ricky hanging tough. Count remains 1-2. The Coliseum, a symmetrical ballpark. 330 down each line, 375 in the power alleys, and 400 straightaway center field. Not a bad crowd on hand this afternoon at all. In fact, the A's really putting some fannies in seats, averaging 31,199 per game. That's it deep in the center field. Henderson has a bead on it. David's there, and that's out number 1.
You may see some balls leaving this ballpark this afternoon because the reason I say that in the afternoon time at Oakland, and especially this ballpark, the ball just seems to carry a little bit better than it does at nighttime.
Let's check out the A's for you defensively. In the outfield, as we mentioned, from left to right, Javier, Henderson, and Canseco. Around the horn, McGuire at first, Hubbard at second. Rookie Walt Weiss at shortstop, Lansford at third, and a battery of Hasse and Young. Meacham takes the strike, and the count 0-1. Bobby doing a good job filling in for the injured Willie Randolph. He has a 5-game hitting streak going for him. He also, during that time, has gone 6 for 19 with 4 stolen bases. Lansford in on the grass at third. That's slashed over into the photographer's pit by the Yankee dugout. And the count 1-2. 2 divisional leaders fighting for the rubber match game of this 3-game series. In the first 5 games this year, the Yankees have won 3. As Young turns it over, misses, in the count 2-2. Also, the Yankees on this, their longest road trip of the season, a 12-gamer. They've played 8 thus far, and they're 6-2, so they're having a good road trip. Lansford, an easy play. 2 gone. That'll bring up the center fielder, Jay Buhner. Seeing some action this afternoon with a southpaw out on the hill in place of Claudell Washington. Buhner just 1 for 9, and this is his second stint in '88 with the Yankees. As he was up, he was on the opening day roster. Did not get in a ball game before being sent down to Columbus, where he did a number. In just 26 games, he had 6 homers and knocked in 13. Good-looking young player. Very, very strong, as all you fans, all Yankee fans know out there. Good arm, decent speed, hard worker. Got a chance, Mars.
Got a very good chance. He's the #1 prospect here in the Yankee organization. And everybody, when you talk about trades to another ball club, the only name that they bring up is Jay Buhner.
There's that change. Had Jaybird out in front, and the count remains 1-2. Well, there's another fellow, too, that a lot of clubs ask about, and that's Roberto Kelly. Said before, last year when he came up, first part of this year, reminds me a lot of a smaller Harmon Killebrew. It's up high, and when I say small, he is taller than the Brew. And as wide as Buhner's shoulders are, still not as wide as Harmon's. The Brew had some shoulders on it. The 2-2 delivery. Got him. So Young, who pitches very well against the Yankees, retires them here in the first in order 1-2-3. And after a half inning of play, it's the Bronx Bombers nothing, and the A's coming up. No score, bottom of the first inning. Right now, let's check out the Yankees for you defensively. In the outfield, it'll be Henderson in left, Jay Buhner in center, Dave Winfield in right. Around the horn, Gary Ward will be the first baseman. Bobby Meacham at second. The shortstop, Rafael Santana, playing with that sore right elbow. Mike Pagliarulo at the hot corner, and the battery of Joel Skinner, and the 29-year-old right-hander out of Ennis, Texas, Charles Hudson. Chaz, 6'3", 185 pounds, making his 5th start of the year. In this, his 12th appearance. This will be his first appearance in '88 against the Oakland A's. Last time out against the Angels, he had no decision, but he pitched very, very well. In that game down at the Big A in Anaheim, he went 6 1/3, giving up just 3 hits, 1 earned run. Of course, that's the game that Neil Allen came in, also pitched well, but he gave up the tying run in the 9th to Johnny Ray. But the Yankees went on to win it 4-2. Against the Oakland A's last year, he was 0-2. For Oakland here in the first, it'll be Lansford, Javier, and Canseco. Connie Lansford, leading the major leagues in hitting, coming in with 396. 4 homers, check that, 32 RBIs. He has a 17-game hitting streak. During that 17-game hitting streak, he's hitting at .486. Carney, 31-year-old veteran out of San Jose, California. Outfield spread out straight away. Hudson with a breaking ball misses, and the count 1-0. Bobby, that's a pitch he's going to have to get over. As Young has to get the change over, Hudson's going to have to get that breaking ball over to this Oakland good fastball hitting club. That fastball up high, and the count 2-0.
Well, that's the reason that Neil Allen was so successful last night against the Oakland A's, because Neil was getting the curveball over, and this being a dead fastball hitting ball club, they don't like the breaking ball, especially from the right side. And who does, really? I mean, if you got a good one, if you're facing somebody that's got that good yacker. Basically a right-handed hitting ball club all the way around with Canseco and McGuire and Lansford.
Hudson's got some work to do. He doesn't want to walk Lansford to count 3-0. And there's the strike. Well, first, I'm not so sure that this Oakland ball club is not the best fastball hitting team in this league. As you look at last night's hero.
Taking it easy, is he?
I asked him this morning how you feel. I said, could you brush your teeth? He said, yeah, left-handed. That's ball 4, so Lansford aboard. He has good speed. Lansford, 8 for 12 in stolen bases. And that'll bring the switch-hitting outfielder Stan Javier to the plate. Stan hitting a .272, a homer, 18 RBIs. And in the first 2 games of this series, he is 0 for 10. Just 22 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Pags in on the grass at third. Outfield spread out, swung around to the left. Here comes Pags in a couple of more steps as Lansford takes off. There's a ground ball, Meacham. Only play will be to Ward at first. And on the hit and run, Lansford moves into second, 1 gone. Here's Jose Canseco. Big fella, 292, 12 homers. He's knocked in 41. He also has scored 47 runs, which is tops in the major leagues. Outstanding fastball hitter. Well, when you got a spread out stance like he has, you've got to be so strong as he takes it right there. And it count nothing in one.
He's not as anxious at the plate this year that he has been in the past couple of years. He's more patient. He's waiting for his pitch, the one that he can handle.
Well, I think, Bobby, you mentioned the key word Monday night. As Hudson got in on his fist right there. That'll be back over the Yankee dugout at a play. But you mentioned the key word the other night when you're giving your little evaluation of just why Canseco is maturity. You can see it in him. Here's a youngster you can just see. Some people you can read very easily. And he just looks so much more confident. He knows he belongs here. Now, his defensive play has just turned to 180 from last season. As we mentioned earlier, he is the fastest man on this ball club. Leads him with 17 stolen bases. Weighs 230 pounds. And some of the biggest arms you ever want to see. What a physique. That stance looks a little bit like Dave Kingman used to spread out. Too good a pitch right there on the 0-2 count.
Yeah, the reason Canseco is spread out a little bit more right now is that he just wants to try to make contact with the baseball. He knows he's behind in the count, so by spreading out, he takes away of overstriding, takes that away, and he's just trying to put the bat on the ball. This guy is so strong that if he did that most of the time, he could hit it out anywhere anyway.
Outfield deep, spread out, has a curveball. Tries to get him to chase it, does not, in the count 1-2.
Well, it's so important when we talked about confidence. This youngster right here, Charlie Hudson, he now has confidence in himself. You don't have to really surprise Charlie Hudson now with the starting assignment. He was nicknamed Undecided because he used to worry about 4 or 5 days if he was in the regular rotation. They wouldn't tell him. They tried to surprise Charlie Hudson because of the worrying factor. But Charlie now has confidence in himself. He's done a little bit of everything for the Yankees this year, out of the bullpen starting, long relief, short relief.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lansford at second, no score, bottom of the first inning. That's hard hit base hit right by Santana. Here comes Lansford. He's going to score as Biener gets to it. And the A's take a quick 1-0 lead.
Good selection of pitches, even with a 2-2 count. You almost got to stay with the breaking ball with Canseco. First base was open, even though Parker. That's a fastball right down Broadway, and you could see Canseco with that spread out stance. All he was trying to do was put the bat on the ball. That's exactly what he did, and he got the job done. Yeah, you got to worry about Canseco at first base because he has some of the best speed here on this Oakland A ball club. 17 stolen bases, but Art Fowler out to talk to Charlie Hudson now, and probably about the sequence of pitches that he used to Canseco.
Well, if he's talking to him about that was history. What he better be talking to him about in case he saw something in the delivery there, and or, as you mentioned, Bobby, the speed of Canseco at first. Make sure that you don't balk. Make sure that you come to a stop. Hold the ball on him. Don't let him get that good jump. But I agree with you totally. Boy, when you get Canseco 0-2 like that, first of all, if you're going to throw in that curveball, he tried to make him chase the first one. If you're going to show him the curveball like that, you got to try to strike him out on it. Here's Parker, 36-year-old veteran, swinging the bat better than he has at any point this season. He's hitting 14 of the last 15 ball games. He's hitting at 287. He's left the park 6 times, and he's driven in 27. Outfield bunched a bit for David. He'll use the whole yard to hit in. Parker, a good off-speed hitter. Everybody everybody's been talking about his adjustment coming here, as we did also on Monday night. But still, the point is, they parked a good off-speed hitter. Now, seeing the different pitchers in the American League for the first time, obviously has taken his little toll as he got off to that very slow start. But if you've got good gas, and Hudson, when he's throwing well, is sneaky, you can throw the ball by Parker.
The umpire behind the plate right now is making Charlie Hudson throw the ball right down the middle. He's not giving Charlie any leeway as far as the corners are concerned. Now, that at least sets a precedence with Charlie Hudson and Joel Skinner, because if Reed stays that way with everybody, you don't mind.
That's right. That's right. Consistent. Just be consistent for both sides. As there's a strike on the outside corner, and the count 2-1. It doesn't make any difference what the umpire is going to do, as long as he does it the same way for both clubs.
Absolutely.
Pags way off the line. In fact, he's deep in the hole over there at shortstop. Canseco just a little bit now. Let's go over there. So the leadoff walk to Lansford. Have taken. There you see Pags. And it doesn't even give you the full effect right there from that shot. He's even deeper than that to the naked eye. Out of play, and the count evens at 2. Oakland Ball Club with 49 home runs. They are second in the league in hitting behind the Boston Red Sox. And their pitching staff is leading the league in ERA. Canseco does not go. He just ate him up right there. There's Meach. He'll tag Canseco. Bad play right there by the big fella. They go over to first. That'll be a double play. But the A's get on the board with a run. A one hit, no errors, nobody left. And after 1-0 Oakland.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and is intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Yankees and Sports Channel is prohibited.
Now look from our center field camera at some of the crowd in attendance this afternoon. Some of the people punching out their all-star ballots. Right here at the top of the second. Oakland leads it 1-0. It'll be Clark, Winfield, and Ward to face the left-hander Kurt Young. Jack, 1 for 9 in the first 2 games. Can't get the off-speed pitch down and in. Jack, 9 homers, 29 RBIs on the year. Outfield playing him the pull as a fastball outside. That evens the count at 1. Just one other game going on at this time around the major leagues at Wrigley Field in Chicago, with the Cubbies leading the Reds 3-0 in the 5th. Of course, this marks the first game that Pete Rose back in uniform, sitting on the bench. Good change right there by Young, and the count 1-2.
Well, that 30 days went by quickly, didn't it?
It sure did.
I bet if you asked Pete Rose that, though, he wouldn't agree with that. But it just seems like only yesterday that little problem that he had with the umpire, Pallone.
Didn't go by that quickly for Helms.
No.
T-Bone, he was going crazy over
Yeah.
there. You know, that's a tough position to put him in on a 30-day suspension like that, like Rose got. And all of a sudden now you get one of the coaches who is all of a sudden now, as that's down low, full count. Tommy is one of these hum baby guys, you know, rah-rah, pump them up, keeping everybody loose and happy. All of a sudden he's got to manage that club for 30 days, and you saw some of the comments. So now his relationship with some of those players is going to be entirely different.
Right.
Now the Roses come back in. Out to play right side.
Tommy's he was in a no-win situation anyway, because Pete was making out the lineups. He was just running the game as when the game started, but Pete was in control before that time. But Pete said it was extremely boring, and that he thought that still claims that the suspension was a little bit too long. The system may have failed.
Got him. There, he just turned it over. Second strikeout for Young.
Took a little bit off of it, and it's right there, but when you take a little bit off, that's what causes Clark to be a little bit behind on that. He has to make his adjustment, as Kurt Young made the adjustment on the fastball.
Here's Winfield. Dave hitting at .365, 12 homers. He's knocked in 48. That leads everybody. Also on this trip, he is 11 for 33, 3 homers and 9 ribbies. Takes it inside. Well, one of the things about Kurt Young is makes him so effective, as we mentioned. He is really one of those guys that is nice to hit at. He's what you call a comfortable 0 for 4. You love to run to the plate with that bat in your hand, but his motion is so good. He is same motion with everything. Same motion with a fastball, curveball, change. And all he does is the 2 things that you've got to do to be effective. He throws strikes and he changes speeds. That's on the outside corner. Of course, I recall a game here last year that Young was beaten by the Yankees 2-1. Of course, Winfield hit 2 home runs off of it. Two-one delivery.
That's a good thing. I hope Polarillo doesn't recognize this in that game.
Well, David has showed no signs of losing that stroke that he started out with in 1988. He has done everything with the bat. He's 4 for 10 with four RBIs in this series. 1 home run. So David is now lining that ball up the middle towards the opposite field. He's not pulling off of it. When he starts to do that, watch out.
Off-speed pitch down low, and the count goes full. So Young goes 3-2 on Clark, strikes him out.
Oh, you heard about that?
And he's 3-2 right here on David.
Who stole it? Oh, God. How about the woman?
Breaking pitch down low. Hassey thought they had it. So Winfield with a walk. First Yankee base runner.
Breaking ball, and it is down and inside.
Looks like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah. I don't think so. I thought it was a little bit low and inside. Obviously, Rick Reed did too. But Hassey,
You're always right, Mo.
Hassey tried to at least fool Rick Reed, but it didn't work.
Here's Gary Ward. Gary, 229, a homer. He's knocked in 5. That pitch is fouled over by the Yankee dugout. It will be out of play. Back in the first row.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do here at the Coliseum is foul the ball off to either side. There is a lot of room, a lot of territory for a, you can see all the room in foul territory. And you mentioned, Hawk, that it would pay, or it pays to have 2 cornermen that has good speed.
Well, they've got one of them.
Foul balls down.
They got the one at third in Lansford. But again, when you get the first baseman who's going to hit 49 home runs as a rookie, it doesn't make any difference how fast he runs. That's back out of play over the Yankee dugout, and the count 0-2. Tailoring your club to fit your park. I guess the club has done that with more efficiency and production over the years, without question, has been the New York Yankees.
Really doesn't make a lot of difference. It did when the Yankee yardage, the stadium was a little bit different with 296, 344, and then 461 in dead center field and 427 in left center field. It just, you had to have left-handed pull power in the ballpark if you're going to win. That's tailoring your ball club to the park. But now that the dimensions are the way they are now, I don't think it really makes any difference, right-handed or left-handed.
No, it's just been diminished quite a bit. There's David with his lead. 0-2 to Ward. Oakland leading 1-0 here in the top of the second. That's up high, a ball and 2 strikes.
Go the same way with Fenway. They used to get those guys that could hit the ball off the green monster from the right side, and if they did sign a left-hander, if a left-hander did play, they worked on hitting the ball towards the opposite field.
Well, the last 4 outstanding left-handed hitters that the Red Sox have had, obviously, Ted Williams, Yastrzemski, Freddie Lynn, and Wade Boggs. And Yaz, Lynn, and Boggs, all 3 of them just wore that monstrosity out there in left center. Williams didn't mess around with it too much.
Well, the deepest part of that ballpark is in right field.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and a long at bat here for Gary Ward. Winfield, pretty good lead. Out in front, pull the string on him a little bit. Count hangs at 2-2. Well, that old proposed trade that was so fascinating and so intriguing many years ago, before both our times, the fact of Williams for DiMaggio. That's the greatest thing about it is the imagination. Just let your imagination run wild to see what those guys would have done. There goes David. He let up. He slowed up.
He forgot what the count was.
The count was 2-2. David evidently thought the count was 3-2 or
you know what happened?
Billy or somebody.
Hawk, they had 3-2 on the board. They had the wrong count on the scoreboard, and David took off on a 3-2 count. And then when he realized that it was a 2-2 count, it's too late.
So miscommunication, either from Boyer, Martin, Winfield, or somebody. And here's a payoff pitch to Ward with nobody on 2 out. Outfield shaded to the right. Gary inside out, and he has made Young throw an awful lot of pitches.
Well, the outfielders are at least catching a break today because there is some high clouds above the Coliseum. It is not the
high sky.
The high sky, cloudless sky.
That's it deep into right center field. Henderson going back at the track, has a bead, reaches up, hauls it down right in front of the 375 side. That'll do it for the Yankees here in the second. Nothing across, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And after an inning and a half, Oakland 1, New York nothing.
Take a look at Dave Henderson. As you see the ball carrying a lot better in the daytime. See, he broke in just a moment, and then he had to go back and starts floating with the ball and drags it down just in front of the warning track, 375.
Pete had trouble picking that ball up.
Well, it is a bright day, even though there is some high clouds above, and with a bright day and the crowd with the background, sometimes it's a little more difficult to pick the ball up, but not as difficult in the outfield as it is on the corners, first baseman and third baseman.
Mark McGuire leads off the bottom of the second inning. Oakland with a 1-0 lead takes the breaking ball in and over from right-hander Charles Hudson. McGuire, Bobby mentioned earlier, the Yankees have done a number on him. He is 1 for 20 in the first 5 ball games, and he's right down in the count here, 0-2.
You know, Hawk, so many of these big guys today, for some reason or another, they grab the bat, you don't ever see the knob. I know that's just a matter of preference on how you feel the bat. You can see that actually he's only, his bottom hand, he's only got a grip with like 3 fingers.
Get a little more leverage where you can kowtow it, buggy whip it.
Well, I guess, you know, a small guy like me, I had to have both hands squarely on the bat with a full grip and a firm grip.
He just blows McGuire away right there with some high gas.
I'm not going to touch that one.
You're just a sweet hitter. Here's Ron Hasse. 19 RBIs in his last 22 ball games. Also, in the last 62 at-bats, he's hitting .355. Outfield straight away. That's into left center. Somebody's going to have to hurry. They can't get there. That's a gapper. One hop off the fence as Henderson drops it as Hasse. Now around second base. Henderson did not pick up the ball. He'll move into third. Ricky Henderson could not find the handle out there.
The second error by Henderson. As he had the ball, there's no reason for Hasse to get 3 out of this, except for the bobble. That's the second time Ricky has had problems picking the ball up in the outfield. He let a ball get by him on the first game of this 3-game series in left field. It was a costly error, and this could prove to be another costly error.
They are ruling that a double error, which it should be. That's the 7th error of the year committed by Henderson. Here's the Oakland center fielder, Dave Henderson. Hitting at .303, 6 homers, 21 RBIs. Yankee infield in, except for Meacham. He's halfway. Breaking ball low, and the count 1-1. A run on 2 hits, no errors for the A's. No runs, no hits, 1 error for the Yankees. Outfield spread out. Good rip by Henderson, and the count moves to 1-2. Would love to have that one back.
The Yankees would like to get a strong performance out of Charlie Hudson this afternoon, because the bullpen, yes, it is a little bit depleted at the moment because of Neil Allen having to come into last night's ball game. But even though Neil Allen went all the way, Pena would probably be the long guy.
Well, you'd like to work him in as that breaking ball missed, and the count evens at 2. You'd like to work him in that scenario anyway. Give him a little bit of work before you see what he can do, first of all. Got him. Big strikeout at this point in time for Hudson.
Now that's the kind of breaking ball that Hudson wants this afternoon against these right-handed hitters. And you can see that the right-handed hitters on this Oakland staff don't like that breaking ball. We were talking about Hippolito Pena. He was put on the roster yesterday when Ron Guidry put back on the disabled list. Guidry was just not ready to pitch.
Here's Glenn Hubbard. Takes a breaking ball strike. Center field. Buehner going back right now at the edge of the track. Hauls it in, and that'll retire the side. So the error by Henderson does not hurt the Yankees here in the second inning. And after 2, Oakland leads it 1-0. On top 1-0, top of the 3rd inning. For the Yankees, it will be the lower third of the order. Pagliarulo, Santana, and Skinner to face the southpaw Kurt Young. Run on 2 hits for the A's. No runs, no hits for the Yankees. Here's Pags. 10 for his last 25. Pags this year against Oakland. 3 for 17. A homer, that coming last night, and he's knocked in 2. Takes it low and away, and the count 1-0. fastball up out of the strike zone.
Well, from the left side, that is one of the things that you do not want to do against Curt Young. You swing at a bad ball and get behind in the count. He just threw that ball by him right there, but it's a lot better to hit from the left side, and I can certainly attest to this. When you are hitting against a Curt Young 2-0, 3-1 instead of 0-2 and 1-2.
Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Young is a little bit out of the different mold than most pitchers in this league. The majority of pitchers, and when I say majority, I'm talking about probably 90% as that's outside, maybe even a little higher than 90. They try to work in and out and down. Young does have the ability to go to all 4 spots, in and out and up and down. He will pitch up, but he will get up on top of the strike zone. That's back out of play. And the count remains 3-2. Not a whole bunch of guys pitch to all 4 spots. Outfield shedding tags around to the left. I like to watch Young pitch. He knows what he's doing. Last time out against the Yankees, when he was beaten 3-2 by Rick Rhoden, he went 8 innings, giving up just 4 hits. 7 walks is wild in that game, as there's a chopper right side. Hubbard, 1 gone. But the thing about watching Young is anytime you get out there and you see a guy on the mound who throws strikes, changing speeds, more or less of an artisan type performer, they're nice to watch.
Tell you what, this A's staff, they have some outstanding pitching. Saw Bob Welch already in this series. Dave Stewart, the Yankees have yet to see him.
Here's Santana. Takes it up high. Raffy doing a little bit of yeoman's duty right here because of the fact he knows the situation of the ball club injury-wise. His elbow is sore. There's no question about that. And he knows there's nobody else. So you play with it. But Wayne Tolleson is with the ball club. He is not on the active list at this time. That's low, and the count 2-1. Tolly said he feels good.
Yeah, he feels good, and if need be, in an emergency, I think that they would activate Tolleson. That's the reason that he is here. But the Yankees have made some moves. We mentioned that Guidry is on the disabled list now, and Pena is now with the ball club. They've also moved and transferred Don Slott from the 15-day to the 21-day.
A little number. Young can't get it. They'll have to eat it. The ball just bounced away from Curt Young. So the first hit by the Yankees.
Everybody knows about Don Mattingly being on the disabled list. You see Young right there as the ball hit a blade of grass, I guess.
Yeah, a little seam out there.
That's the kind you like to see when you check swing a ball down to that area.
So Santana board 1 out, and here's the catcher, Joel Skinner. Had his 8-game hitting streak broken last night. That 8-game hitting streak, the longest of his short career. Back in the last 9 games, Skins 12 for 32. And he has swung the bat better. I guess I've seen him just about as much as anyone. He swung the bat better in the last 5 or 6 days. As far as giving himself a chance to do some damage at the plate, it does not appear like he's going up there, Merson, looking for that perfect pitch, that slider low and away or the curveball low and away. That's tough to hit under that thought process.
He's taking the ball and putting it into right field. And when you see Skinner hitting the ball solidly on the line, up the middle right field, you know he can do some damage.
There's a little nub around front of the plate. Hasse has time with Skinner's speed, gets him. That's out number 2 with Santana moving into second.
The Yankees gasped, big gasp, from everybody last night when Leiter took that shot off of the bat of Carney Lansford on his left arm. It only turned out to be a bad bruise on the forearm. But he is expected not to miss a start. Billy said when he walked to the mound last night, he said, Leiter said, I heard something pop, Billy. And you know what goes through your mind there. With everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
Candelaria with a tender left elbow.
There's Alphonse. He's all right. Just a bone bruise and a good one. Here's Ricky Henderson with Santana at second. Ricky flied to center his first trip, takes the ball low and away, and the count 1-0. There you see the bandaging, the wrapping on his left hand and arm. Just think, he will go down in the books as having part of a shutout. There's a base hit right back through the middle. Here comes Santana. He's going to score, and the game is tied at 1 on a single, the RBI single by Henderson.
Ricky hits it off the end of the bat just a little bit. It has a good spin. The top spin, it gets by the infield. And Henderson, the center fielder Henderson, as you look at Henderson at first base now, so Young will have to pay attention to him. Took him a little bit of time to get to the ball. That's what allowed Santana to score from second.
Well, you know one thing, Ricky Henderson's looking to do something here. One of his family and friends. Meacham takes a strike. Bobby bounced to Lansford back in the first inning. Ricky with 34 stolen bases in 43 attempts. Yankees have 58 stolen bases as a club. And also, on that 34 stolen bases by Ricky, you got to remember, there have been a lot of times this year. Bobby can't get the fastball on the count 0-2. There have been a lot of times this year that Ricky's been on second, a man on first, he'd steal third, and put the other guy in the scoring position, which accounts for a lot of those 58 stolen bases. No balls, 2 strikes. Outfield short and bunched.
Yankees will keep a close eye on Kurt Young and his move to first base because he brings that front leg up, and he's almost in line with the first base bag when he does it.
Nothing on with a pitch out.
Now, if he makes an extra little step with that thing, that's a balk.
Well, again, though, with that pitch out right there, with his control, with Young's control, you can pitch out a couple of times. So we'll see what Hasse and LaRussa want to do.
Normally, you'll see Kurt Young just step away or step back away from the rubber. Like that right there. He won't make the move over to first base. He's a little bit afraid to because he has a tendency to move that front leg a little bit. Make a little extra stutter step with it.
What would you do right here, Murph? There he goes. Too late.
I'd send him.
Too late. Number 35 for Ricky. I thought LaRussa was coming back with another pitch out right there.
No chance with a high leg kick from Kurt Young. And Ricky with that great speed. Look at him look back. He knew he had it easy. When he does the stand-up slide, you know that Ricky Henderson knows himself that it's no chance of throwing him out.
Full count to Meacham. Well, every time they get decent speed out there, they're certainly going to try Hasse. There goes Ricky. Ball lined hard, but foul down into the Yankee pen.
Young not even paying any attention to Ricky Henderson at second base.
Well, if that had been ball 4 right there, he's got another one.
Oh, absolutely. No chance.
Look at those long strides out of that low position.
Maybe Young just figures that, what the heck, I can't hold him on anyway. Just
Or
let
has
him
he
take
can't
the-
throw him out anyway.
Or has he can't throw him out. Let me just worry about the hitter.
That's, you know what, and that it really is the right process. There he goes once again. Had that one stolen easily if it had been ball 4.
I think they are just going to let Henderson take third if he wants it. And just worry about the hitter. That's the way it looks like to me right now, because they are not paying any attention to Henderson at second.
Well, it makes it a little tough on Hubbard and Weiss, the shortstop, because of Bobby at the plate. Meacham talking about. He'll hit the ball all over, so it's hard for one of them. They don't want to give up ground right here, so to speak. Now Hubbard's going to jockey in a little bit, but I don't think it'll be much, and it's not.
Well, they got to make it look good now.
Yeah, it looks bad to the fans.
Yeah. Getting too big of a jump.
There goes Ricky. Pops him up, playable. Martin McGuire. Foul territory, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. But not before the Yankees tied up with a run on 2 hits. No Oakland errors, 1 man left, and after 2.5, 1-1. The Oakland A's a run on 2 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. Some of the crowd in attendance this afternoon on just a beautiful day here in Northern California. Oakland, as we mentioned, really drawing well, averaging a little over 31,000 per home date. They are way up in attendance from 1987, I believe, something close to 150, 160,000. But a good atmosphere here at the Coliseum, and especially with their club with the best record in baseball. They have a 9-game lead over the Twins. Oakland 20 games over at 35-15. That's the best record that they have had since back in 1974 at this juncture of the season. For the A's here in their third, it'll be the shortstop Walla Weiss, in the top of the order, Carney Lansford and Stan Javier. Weiss, switch hitter, hitting a .208, a homer, and 11 RBIs. Youngster out of Tuxedo, New York. Tags in on the grass at third. Ward in close at first as he takes the ball and the count 1-0. Waller 6'1", 175 pounds. Out of play left side, the count evens at 1. Virtually won the job last year when he was called up, when he hit about .470 in 16 ball games, and that freed up the A's, at least in their thinking, to where they could trade Alfredo Griffin, which they did, to the Dodgers. And thus far, that has worked out to be an excellent deal for them.
No doubt about that. One of the things that I haven't seen Walt Weiss do, and that is try to bunt the ball, either drag it or lay it down to third baseline.
There's a chopper. 2 hopper to Meacham. 1 gone.
You can sure loosen up the infield when you do those things. And of course, Weiss is one of those testy little hitters. He hits the ball all over, not with a lot of power, but flaring one here and flare one there. If you take a look at Tony La Russa,
here's Carney Lansford. Threw a walk back in the first and scored the only Oakland run. H.C. Slurve from Hudson. Count 0-1. Lansford, as we mentioned, 17-game hitting streak coming into this afternoon. 0-2 the count. Carney, who won the batting title while playing for the Boston Red Sox. Inside. Of course, that was back in 1981 when he hit .336. Ball and 2 strikes as right-hander Charles Hudson trying to pick up his 5th victory of the season. He has lost once, and he's also trying to beat Oakland for the first time in his career. jammed in right back to the middle. Santana has it. Long peg in time. 2 gone. Nice pitch by Hudson.
Inside, out's the ball. But Santana is there because the ball was not hit that hard.
But Charlie just took his arms completely out of that swing. Here's Stan Javier. Left fielder takes it up high. Back in the first inning with Lansford at first, they put the hit and run on. He hit a bouncer to Meacham. Bags once again in on the grass at third base. That's on the corner. And the count evens at 1. Cubbies now leading Cincinnati 4-0 in the 7th inning at Wrigley Field. Dropped nicely in and over, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Just peeking out here, the Cubbies. 1-2 in a row, trying to sweep Cincinnati. Cubs in 4th place in the National League East, 9 games back of the Mets. That's playable on the left. Henderson almost in his tracks. Now glasses down, little snatch catch. So far the first time. Fans a reminder that Sunday at 1:30, Dave Winfield and the Yankees square off against the Baltimore Orioles. That's the Yanks and the Birds, Sunday at 1:30 live on Sports Channel. Your stop for a Subway Series summer.
Moving to the top of the 6th inning as the A's lead the Yankees 2-1 in this final game of this 3-game series. As you take a look at some of the fans on hand, and they have a nice crowd. Looking at the scoreboard, the Chicago Cubbies have defeated the Cincinnati Reds at Wrigley Field now 6-3 in what was Pete Rose's debut back with the Cincinnati Reds after spending that 30-day suspension. Also in the American League, it's Seattle 1, Baltimore nothing. That is in the 2nd inning. You know, looking at the standings, the Yankees 2.5 game lead over the Cleveland Indians, and Detroit right behind Cleveland at 4.5 games back. But Oakland running away with it in the Western Division right now as Jay Buhner leads it off for the Yankees. Buhner 1 for 2 in the game. Buhner will be followed by Clark and Dave Winfield. Swing and a miss at a high fastball from Young, and it's 0-1. Minnesota 9 games back. Texas in 3rd spot at 9.5 games back. And Kansas City already 12 games out of 1st place. 0-2 now to Buhner. Chicago White Sox came into this ball game today 13 games back. Seattle 13.5 games back. And California really struggling at 16.5 games back of the Oakland A's. Up high for a ball, 1-2. Down low, and that evens the count up at 2-2. The Yankees are 6-2 on this trip, which is the longest road trip of the 1988 season for them. Now backing out of play. 12-game road trip, 14 days in all.
With all the events that have happened, especially in Seattle, it has really lengthened this trip out. Seems like it has been a lot longer than what it has.
That's foul backing out of play, and the count remains at 2-2. A lot of injuries with the Yankees. As you look at Don Mattingly, he is on the 15-day disabled list. He hurt his stomach muscle right underneath the right rib. He pulled a muscle, and he's out for 15 days. That pitch is up high. 3-2 to Buhner now. He did that during extra batting practice in Seattle. It's just one of those things that happens. Not a whole lot you can do about it. High fly ball and deep to left field. Goodbye. Jay Buhner has tied this ball game up with a mammoth home run to left field. Buhner's first home run for the New York Yankees in 1988.
He had a couple of good pitches in that sequence to hit. He gets a 3-2 fastball right there from Kurt Young, and I mean, he puts the hammer down way back about 2/3 of the way up in those bleachers in left center field. Little short, quick swing. He's a powerful man, and put it on the board.
Jack Clark takes a pitch in for a call strike. 0-1 to Clark. Clark 0 for 2 in this game. Has struck out and flied out. You can look at Jay Buhner and the smile on his face, and he has reason to smile. I mean, he let that one go. It was a long ways in the left field bleacher section.
Yeah, your first major league home run, you're certainly going to have a big smile on your face.
2-1 now to Clark. So we have a tie score. 2 apiece now here in the top of the 6th inning. High fly ball and deep to left field. Going back is Javier on the warning track. Goodbye. Back-to-back home runs by Buhner and Jack Clark. Clark's number 10 on the year. They put the Yankees out in front 3-2.
He had Clark out in front on that, and all the big man did was just put the bat on the ball, knocking in his 30th run on his 10th homer. Boy, they can strike in a hurry. There's the change. You can see Clark way out in front. Watch him. He's up. Now he plants. Hands are coming forward, but he still made that little move to compensate where he had some power.
Well, back-to-back home runs here in the top of the 6th inning, and the Yankees lead the A's 3-2, and there's no relief in sight as Dave Winfield steps in and takes a pitch outside and low for a ball. Wow. We've been waiting for some bombs to go off. Breaking ball on the outside corner. That evens the count up at 1-1. You can see that Kurt Young is up in the strike zone now. Grounder, nice play by Lansford, backhanded, flips it over to McGuire, and there's one down.
Carney playing off the line for Winfield as David broke his bat. Hit it towards the end. Not hit hard, but still a nice play by number 4. See David catching it right on the end of the bat. And you can see how far Carney was over towards the hole at short.
And Gary Ward takes a pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. With one down, Ward officially 0 for 1 in this game. He flied out in the 2nd inning, intensely walked back in the 4th inning. The Yankees lead at 3-2 here in the top of the 6th. Swing and a miss at a changeup. 1-1 now to Ward. Piarulo on deck for the Yankees. See Gene Nelson warming up. A little tapper to the third baseman Lansford. 2 hopper. And McGuire is 2 down.
Seeing a couple of different style home runs here. A very long one by Buhner, way back up in there. And then, of course, the one by Canseco. Probably as short of a lapse time as you'll see in the league this year for a ball leaving the ballpark.
Mike Piarulo stepping in. Takes a pitch outside for a ball. Pags is 0 for 2 in the game. Grounded out and in line sharply to the second baseman Hubbard back in the 4th. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. The count goes to 1-1. I think the hardest home run I ever saw hit was at Yankee Stadium. I mean, it got out of the stadium as fast as I've ever seen a home run. On the outside corner for a call strike. 1-2 now to Mike Piarulo. Davey May hit one down the right field line when it was 296 at Yankee Stadium, and before you could turn your head, it was out of the ballpark. side, 2-2 to Pags.
Well, I've seen a lot of long ones, and I've seen a lot of them. I think the best way to put it is I have never seen a ball leave the park as quick as that one quicker, I should say, than the one Canseco hit.
Foul backing out of play, 2-2.
And it might be the lowest in height I'm talking about. It might be the lowest home run I've ever seen.
Well, what it was a 335-foot line drive. That's what it was.
Normal human being, that ball's a one-hopper to the left fielder. Hello.
On the air to right field. Going back is Canseco on the warning track, and he makes a catch as he crashes up against the wall. Pags was out in front of that pitch just a little bit. The ball carried well into right field, but Canseco made a nice play to end the inning. But not before the Yankees strike with 2 home runs back-to-back. Buhner and Clark. They put the Yankees out in front 3-2 at the end of 5.5.
Jose Canseco having some trouble with this towering fly ball by Pagliarulo. You can see him checking just to find out where he is. And even though he has been playing some real good defense for the A's this year, he has done it in a little bit of an uncoordinated manner.
Well, here comes the big bruiser, and he will lead it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees out in front 3-2. 3 home runs in the ball game. 2 by the Yankees and 1 by the Oakland A's, that being the line drive home run off the bat of Canseco. Home run number 13 for him. We've been waiting for some bombs between these 2 ball clubs, and we are seeing some so far today.
We've seen 2.
Canseco in this ball game, he has been the entire offense for the Oakland A's. Base hit RBI back in the 1st inning to put the A's out in front. Good pitch by Hudson. It's over for a called strike. And in the home run back in the 4th inning.
There's something that Canseco could not do the last couple of years, and that's he was afraid to take a strike.
Fouls that one at home plate, and it's 0-2.
And, of course, that comes with what we were talking about earlier, maturity. When a guy goes up there, good hitters are not afraid to take a strike. And it's understandable, rookie year a couple of years ago than last season coming in. Boy, he was up there hacking at everything. But he was just taking all the way right there.
6'3", 230 pounds. Oh, he gets away maybe with this one. High fly ball into right field. Whitfield going back and makes a running catch as he crashes up against the wall. So Winfield comes back to make a big play off the bat of Canseco. Canseco ended the inning for the Yankees in the top of the 6th inning with a nice play off the bat of Pagliarulo.
Hudson gets away with one right here. Canseco just didn't quite get it, because if he does, I'll tell you, there's no yard that'll hold him anywhere. He just muscled that ball out there.
The ball is traveling. Dave Parker. And the breaking ball is over for a called strike.
As much as we talked about the ball being hot last year, last couple of seasons, I definitely think there's a change in the baseball this year.
I agree.
It does not look anywhere near as hot as it has been. Now, I know they're going to tell you it's the same ball.
Foul backing out of play, 0-2.
But where you can notice it, where you notice it really the most is not in the home runs, is how quickly the ball gets through the infield. And that ball is just not getting through the infield as quick as it did last season.
Oh, it was hot, as you say last
Like some of your tee shots, Merce.
You bet. Outside and high for a ball, 1-2 to Parker. Parker 0 for 2 in this game. Breaking ball and a beauty. Swung on and missed by Parker. Strikeout number 4 for Hudson, and it's 2 down.
Boy, this was a Jim Dandy right here. There, he pulled a string on the curveball. You can see Parker way out in front. That was a beauty.
Last year, Hawk, 4,458 home runs hit in the major leagues. All kinds of records set. 28 players hit 30 or more. As McGuire takes a breaking ball down low for a ball, 1-0. Up high high. 2-0 now to McGuire. In the American League, they set a record. 2,634 home runs hit in the American League compared to 2,290 the year prior to that. 2-1 now to McGuire. In the National League, they also broke a record, 1,824 compared to a 1970 record of 1,683. That mean anything to you? Breaking ball grounded to the left side by Cayerulo. Took a tricky hop. Goes out in the left field. That'll probably be a base hit for McGuire.
It looked like Pags was fooled on that just a bit. Of course, he has tremendous topspin with the power that he possesses. There's the curveball, just a roller from Hudson. It looked like Mike thought he was going to get it, and all of a sudden the ball's by him. But boy, you're just full of stats over there, aren't you? Information.
They call me the stat man as you take a look at McGuire at first base. Ron Hassey stepping in. Yankees out in front 3-2. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Just thought maybe you would like to know that.
I did. That was very interesting.
High fly ball into shallow left field. Moving over is Henderson. Mondret makes the catch. No runs on 1 base hit. The A's leave 1 at the end of 6 innings of play. It's the Yankees 3 and the A's 2. Well, new pitcher for the Oakland A's here in the top of the 7th inning. Right-hander Gene Nelson comes on, making his 14th appearance for the A's. He has a record of 3-2, 3.56 earned run average. He also has 2 saves on the year. Ex-Yankee, used to be in the Yankee organization. So the new pitcher for the Oakland A's is Gene Nelson. And as we are on the subject of home runs, the Yankees with 2 home runs in this ball game today ties Seattle with the lead in the American League with 51 home runs. And the A's are just 1 home run back of that. And it gives me great pleasure to turn the play-by-play back over to the Hawk, Ken Harrelson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mercer. Right-hander Gene Nelson, 27 years old, out of Tampa, Florida. He has good arm, good fastball, good breaking stuff, and he probably has as good a circle change as any right-hander, certainly in the American League, as Santana. The count now 1-1. Rafael, 1 for 2 this afternoon, had an infield single back in the 3rd and scored the first Yankee run. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Oakland A's. And we have seen some good pitching in this 3-game series. Outfield, swung around to the right. Bit of a gap between Henderson in center and Javier in left. Talking about Nelson being in the Yankee organization. As a matter of fact, back in 1980, down in Fort Lauderdale, he was 20-3. That's up high. And the problem with Nelson, the reason he has been a bit of a puzzle, not an enigma, but a puzzle to most of the clubs, he can go out there and absolutely look like a world beater for 2 or 3 times. Then all of a sudden, 4 or 5 times out there, he can't get anybody out. He falls behind in the count. 2 hopper to Lansford. Easy play for Connie. 1 gone. A's with a run in the 1st. Yankees tied it in the 3rd. Oakland came back to take a 2-1 lead in the 4th. And back-to-back home runs by Jay Buhner. His first in the major leagues. And Jack Clark, and that's how it stands. 3-2 New York. Here's Skins. Skins hit a little number out in front of the plate that Hassey threw him on. Threw an out on, I should say, in the 3rd inning. Then he flied to left in the 5th.
Nothing tricky about Nelson, as you were saying. A little sinker ball, slider, changeup.
Change is his best pitch to the left-handed hitter. As there's Weiss throwing Skinner out. At times, Nelson throws it up there 91, 92 miles an hour.
That's a little bit too hard for a sinker. I think that's the reason.
Yeah, but you're not wrong, because his ball moves. And when he's throwing real good, his ball does sink a little bit. Well, there's no question about his ability. Here's Ricky Henderson. Ricky 2 for 3 in RBI and 2 stolen bases. He now has 36 stolen bases on the season. Outfield straight away. Lansford in on the grass at third. Good rip by Henderson, and the count 1-1. Ricky now 5 for 24 against Oakland this season. The Yankees trying to make it 2 in a row. High chopper Lansford. So he's going to make the peg over to McGuire. Nelson comes in, gets the Yankees in order 1-2-3, and after 6.5, 3-2 Bronx Bombers. Dave 0 for 2. He is struck out and lined hard to center field. Takes the ball. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the A's. That's it, deep bingo. You can put it on the board. Home run for Henderson, and that'll tie it up for David. His 7th home run of the season, his 2nd in this series.
See a fastball up in the strike zone, and Henderson deposited it over the left field fence to tie the score up.
Here's Glenn Hubbard. He's 1 for 2. He's flied to center and singled in the hole back in the 5th inning. Bobby, you were talking about Oakland going into Minnesota, where the Twins have been playing much better baseball in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. As you look at Henderson, last year Oakland was 0-7 in that ballpark. That's outside. 1-1 the count. So indeed, it is a good chance for the Minnesota Twins to gain a little ground on the A's.
Also, Tony La Russa, they have a day off tomorrow, as do the Yankees.
There's a base hit in the right field. No activity. Now there's going to be some down in the Yankee pen.
Well, there's nothing to say about Tony La Russa and the Oakland A's. They are leaving early tomorrow morning to fly to Minnesota so that they can work out in the Metrodome to get used to it.
Richard Dotson. He is not throwing to get ready for a start. He's about all they got. That bullpen depleted. Thank goodness for the job by Neil Allen last evening.
Well, they have Hippolyto Pena down there. They also have Guante and Brigetti.
Fowler has his chat. The Yankees are going to be looking for the bunt. Right-hander Charles Hudson. The partial line on Hudson thus far. 6+, 3 runs earned, 8 hits, 1 walk. He has 4 strikeouts. But he has got his work cut out for him to try to get out of further damage. Here's Weiss. He's 1 for 2. Squares the bunt. Out in front of the mound, Hudson looks to second. Goes over to Meacham, so the sacrifice 1-4.
Hudson had a chance to throw Hubbard out at second base. He just overran that bunt a little bit too far, because the bunt was a perfect bunt for Hudson to pounce upon to throw the runner out and force him out at second base.
Yeah, he broke over towards the third base line just as Shea tried to recover and then did not have any play. They're going to put Carney Lansford on. This afternoon. He walked and scored a run back in the 1st inning. He bounced to short in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, And now the intentional walk here in the 7th. Lansford with a 17-game hitting streak on the line. So he'll jog it on down to first base, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Stan Javier. He's bounced to second twice. He's gone to Henderson and left. 3-3 tie here in the 7th inning. Boy, this is a good spot for Javier to be in. With number 33, Jose Canseco, on deck. Chances are he's going to get something. Ooh, nice to hit. Getting ready to say something nice to hit, and there it goes, but a little bit out in front of it. Meanwhile, it's just a long strike. Hubbard at second, Lansford at first. Yankees looking for the pair. That's it, deep into right field. David going back on the track. He makes the catch. Now Hubbard, who was halfway, will stay at second base, and that's out number 2.
We've had some home runs hit this afternoon. There has been no doubt about them, but I'll tell you what, the ball is traveling. A lot of carry this afternoon on these balls that are hit.
Hey, I thought that ball had a good chance right there. He indeed got 2 good pitches to hit, but now a whole bunch of work to do. Right there. Canseco 2 for 3. He singled and a run in the first. He hit a vicious, an awesome line drive home run in the 4th, and he went out deep to right center field in the 6th.
Well, Dotson is ready in the bullpen. Jeff Torborg giving the sign to the Yankee dugout that Dotson is ready in case he's needed.
Strike, beauty. It's like a good hard slider from Hudson, and the count 0-1. Looped out into right field. Here comes David. He's there, makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. But the A's tie it up on Dave Henderson's 7th home run of the season, and after 7, 3-3.
For your stop for a Subway Series summer.
It'll be Bobby Meacham, Jay Buhner, and Jack Clark, the scheduled hitters, here in the top of the 8th inning. And what has been a very exciting ball game. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Oakland A's. Here comes Bobby. He's drawn the collar this afternoon. He's bounced to third. He's popped to first, and he's flied to left. Activity down in the Oakland pen. Southpaw Rick Honeycutt. Lansford in on the grass. McGuire in close as Nelson fires the fastball right over the outside corner, and the count 0-1. Pull the string, completely fooled him, and the count 0-2.
Bobby almost broke his wrist on that pitch. Take a look at Rick Honeycutt.
Up in the right field, Canseco. Easy play for the big man. 1 out. That'll bring up the center fielder, Jay Buhner. He struck out in the 1st, got a base hit in the 4th, then in the 6th inning, leading off, collected his first major league home run, and it was a Jim Dandy. Way back up in those bleachers in left center field. lefty to the outside. Nelson hits the mitt, and the count 0-1.
Well, Billy Martin letting Buhner hit in this situation against the right-handed pitcher. Doesn't call on Claudell Washington, and with that move, Rick Honeycutt sets down.
Breaking ball away, and the count 1-1. Fastball, good rip by Buhner, and the count moves to 1-2.
You know, you normally don't see Buhner hit the ball like he hit it to left field. Normally, Buhner, if he hits a home run, it's a dead center field or a right center field. It was just a beautiful swing, the last home run.
He had some good rips last time. There's a comebacker to Nelson. 2 gone. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jack Clark. After Buhner has cranked out that long homer, Jack got a changeup from southpaw Kurt Young, got way out in front, and just muscled it out of the park for his 10th homer. Misses away. Outfield swung around to the left. 2 balls, no strikes, with Winfield on deck. Imagine he can do it any way he wants to right here. Two out, nobody on. Good pitch by Nelson on the outer half. Looked like Clark was taking all the way, and the count 3-1.
Yeah, either that or he was zoning his pitch to hit out of the ballpark. That was certainly not the type of pitch that you want to swing at to hit out.
That's ball 4. So Clark aboard. First walk issued by Nelson, third by Oakland pitching this afternoon. Here comes David. He has walked, bounced to second, and bounced to third. Spots like these, Merce, that David has been so outstanding in 1988. Outfield very deep, as they should be. They do not want anything hit over their heads. Once again, the left-hander Rick Honeycutt starts to throw for Oakland. David takes it right there, and the count 0-1. Nelson, with that herky-jerky motion, gives you a sense, now I say you the hitter, a sense of urgency out there on the mound. Ooh, not one of his better swings right there.
What you're trying to do when you try to get on top of a ball, you see Wayne Tolleson sitting down there close to that camera pit. Holly with the ball club, but he is not on the active roster. Says his arm is feeling really good. The only thing of it is that it's just not strong enough yet to play every day, maybe in a platoon row. Coming off that major operation to his shoulder.
Winfield deep in the hole. On the outside corner, Winfield doesn't like it, but Rick Reed says grab some bench. That'll do it for the Yankees here in the 8th. Nothing across. There were no hits, no errors of men left. After 7.5, tied at 3.
The Yankees swing into June with a lineup of great promotion days. On Sunday, June the 12th, the Yankees host the Orioles, and Waldbaum's presents Yankees Bat Day. The Cleveland Indians visit the stadium June the 23rd through the 26th for a 4-game series highlighted by these 2 special days. On Saturday, June the 25th, Delwood presents Yankee Batting Glove Night, and on Sunday, June the 26th, the Yankees host the Tribe at 1:30, and immediately following the game, Citibank presents the Beach Boys live and in concert. Get your tickets soon for these great promotion days. Tickets are on sale at the stadium or through Ticketmaster. And for charge orders, you can call Ticketmaster at 212-307-7171. We'll see you at the stadium in June.
Bottom of the 8th inning as we take a look at the call third strike to Dave Winfield, and you can see why he was a little upset.
Well, David, he has long arms, but I'm not sure his arms are long enough to reach that one.
3-3 tie. It'll be Parker, McGuire, and Hassey to face Charles Hudson. No activity down in the Yankee pen. Now they start to rustle around down there as that pitch outside to count 1-0. Parker this afternoon has hit into a double play. He's bounced to short and struck out. Up high with the heat. And the count 2-0.
Well, the Yankees have had some problems with this umpiring crew. Billy Martin was thrown out of a ball game by Dale Scott, who was at first base at the particular time in this series.
Hard hit. Dave off with a crack. Can't get it. Over his head. Parker on his way to second base. And he will get there with a leadoff double.
Probably will have a pinch runner for Parker at second. But that was a line drive off the bat of Dave Parker. No chance for Winfield.
Boy, there's wheelhouse right there, Murph. Just drops the bat on it. No, Dave didn't have a chance to get that one. And here comes Billy Martin. He has Dodson and Ippolito Pena, who just joined the ball club today. They are both throwing down in the Yankee pen. I would imagine he's going to make a long, hard conversation right here. Change. He's going to go with a change. The right-hander Richard Dodson.
Well, you know, Parker basically not a full hitter from the left side, so you got to figure that Hudson has lost a little bit off of his fastball, allowing Parker to get out in front of that fastball and drill it down to the right field corner. And Billy saw that, so he's out there to make the change as Dodson will come on. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by New York Telephone. We'll be back right after these messages. In the Yankee bullpen, he is a left-handed pitcher. The guy after McGuire is Ron Hassey, the left-handed batter. Maybe only Dodson will face the one batter as he pitched and started in this first game of this three-game series between Oakland and the Yankees. Dodson only lasted 5 1/3 innings as he left after giving up only 1 run on 7 base hits. He struck out 2. So Dodson once again in the relief row for the New York Yankees after starting, it's the second time, after starting a first game of a three-game series and then appearing in the last game.
Well,
his
first time he came in relief in Minnesota, actually he had a lot better stuff than he did when he started. Now, Doc threw a lot of pitches the other night on Monday in the opener, even though he only went 5 1/3, but he was going to throw a little bit today anyway. Right now, all that's academic as you look at Charles Hudson, who did not pitch that badly this afternoon. 7+, 3 runs, 8 hits, checked at 9 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. But right here, nobody out. 3-3 tie, and Parker at second with McGuire, the hitter. Behind his head. And the count 1-0. McGuire has struck out, gone out deep to right, and single.
You know, Hawk, I really am surprised that Tony La Russa did not put a pinch runner in for Parker.
Low and the count 2-0.
It would really take an awfully long base hit for Parker to score from second base.
Well, he does certainly not run like he used to. Now activity down in the Oakland pen as Dennis Eckersley starts to loosen up. There's a base hit. They're going to wave him around as Winfield gets to it. Here's the throw. Not in time. Nice fadeaway slide by Parker. And the A's lead it 4-3.
See, Dave Winfield, he had to go a long ways to get this ball as it sliced down the right field line. He almost throws Parker out, but it took him a little bit longer to get to the ball. And as you play McGuire actually to pull the ball from the right side, So the A's take the lead 4-3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Art Fowler's on his way to the mound once again. They're going to make a pitching change as the left-hander Pena will come on. Dave Righetti has now gotten up in the Yankee bullpen. So Hippolito Pena will come on to pitch for the very first time for the New York Yankees. Called up yesterday to replace Ron Guidry on this Yankee roster. Pena coming over from the Pittsburgh Pirates in the Destrada trade. So Dodson pitches to one batter, that being McGuire. McGuire hits a line drive into right field, base hit.
Well, McGuire doing what he was supposed to do there, trying to get Parker over to third base, and he came up with these singles.
Well, Pena and Skinner will go over the signs now and how they want to pitch Ron Hasse, the left-handed batter. And while they are doing that, I want to tell you about the Sports Channel wants to hear about your special Little League, Pony League, or Softball League manager. Why you think he or she is the best around. In the weeks ahead, Sports Channel will profile 5 metropolitan area managers and their teams on New York Sports Nightly. Then in early July, we will select Sports Channel's Junior Manager of the Year and treat the winner and his or her team to a day at the ballpark. So tell us why your manager is #1. You can send your nominations to Sports Channel's Junior Manager of the Year, 150 Crossways Park West, Woodbury, New York, 11797. As you take a look at the left-hander, Hippolito Pena.
Tall, lanky southpaw. Bobby Mitchell coming over from the Pirates this spring in the Orlando Destrade, Orestes Destrade, I should say, deal. In 36 in the 3rd inning down at Columbus, he had a 6-1 record with no saves, 15 runs, 14 earned, at a 3.47 ERA. In those 36 innings, he gave up 29 hits, 18 walks, and had 41 strikeouts. So Pena, who does have a good arm. And we'll see what Ron Hasse, who went over to talk to some of the Oakland players to see if anybody knew Pena. Hippolito Pena. Here's Hasse. He doubled in the 2nd. Grounded to short in the 4th. Flied to left in the 6th. Tags in on the grass at 3rd. Yankees right here looking for the bunt. Little comebacker now. Pena takes his time. They've got time to turn to 2 with Hasse's speed. Indeed they do. A 1-6-3 double play. Second twin killing of the game turned by the Yankees.
Well, Hasse faked like he was going to bunt. He made that gesture, and then he got out in front. He tried to check his swing and bounces it right back to Pena. Now, Pena makes a nice play on this ball and makes a nice throw to the shortstop Santana, allowing him to complete the double play. That could turn out to be a big double play because the A's had the momentum and things going for them.
1 pitch, 2 outs in his first appearance in a New York uniform. Here's Henderson. He tied it up with a homer last inning, his 7th of the year. This day's home run in the 14th inning won the opener on Monday. One thing about Pena, you can see just watching him warm up, he has good movement, good tailing action on his fastball. Certainly is not. When I saw him in the clubhouse prior to the game, as you look at Dennis Eckersley, he certainly is not what we were told this spring. They said he was very skinny as a rail southpaw. He's not that thin. He's just a little lanky.
Well, George Sisler fattening him up down in Columbus.
He can do it.
Those buffalo wings. And
that's outside, and the count 2-1. Left side, 2 hopper to Pags. Long peg, high. Safe. Error by Tallarulo.
Sometime when the play is so easy, it becomes hard.
See Pags right there getting that elbow down, and the ball just taking right off on him. So the 7th error of the season committed by Pags. That'll bring up the Oakland second baseman, Glenn Hubbard. He's 2 for 3. A couple of singles, one in the 5th and one last inning. Eckersley looks like throwing in earnest down in the pen.
You can bet your bippy probably you're going to see him. The Yankees are.
That's what he's there for.
They use their stopper.
Fastball high in the count, 1-0. So the leadoff double by Parker. McGuire trying to get him over to third base. Single in the right. Parker scores, and that's how it stands. 4-3 Oakland. Strike to Hubbard. Outfield spread out straight away. Hubbard just 5'7", 170 pounds. Good lead by Henderson. Takes the bunt, takes the ball, and the count 2-1. Game in action this afternoon going on right now. Baltimore at Seattle in the 6th, tied at 2. Earlier on, the Cubbies beat the Reds 6-3 at Wrigley Field. So they sweep Cincinnati. Three balls and a strike. Looks like he has a good arm because of the movement. It does not look like he certainly is overpowering. Good movement right there, and the count goes full. So with 2 out, Ward will play behind Henderson at first.
Tell Pena that top button is supposed to be unbuttoned.
Okay. There goes Henderson. Line drive, base hit in the left field. Henderson gets to it. Henderson will stop at second. So Ricky holds Dave. And the A's, after the error by Pagliarulo, have something going.
First came to the Yankees as a rookie, I had that top button going. I thought it looked nice, and Mickey Mantle says, hey, we don't wear our top button on the Yankees. I didn't ask him why. I just unbuttoned it real quick.
In a hurry. Last time you ever buttoned. Here's the shortstop, Walter Weiss. He's 1 for 2. He's bounced the second, single, and sacrificed. Even with the line at third. Ground ball, Pags makes it, steps on the bag, takes him right there, and that'll do it. But not before the A's break the tie, coming in with a run on 3 hits, 1 error, 2 men left. Yankees down to the last 3. It'll be Ward, Pags, and Santana, the scheduled hitters, as they go to the 9th, trailing Oakland 4-3.
Getting a home equity loan from Astoria Federal was a great move. We paid Jeff's tuition, bought my husband Tom a new car, and we get a tax break we wouldn't get if we'd refinanced.
Get this special introductory rate with an Astoria Federal home equity loan. Call for details.
With our Astoria Federal home equity loan, we even bought a little something for me. Astoria Federal, right where it counts.
The city, Rockville Center. The sporting goods mystery case. The only clue, a tag from Wolf Sport Shop. 12:56 p.m. Find the culprit sport. Case solved. An anonymous tip put me onto Russell Athletic Wear. Russell's styles and colors left too many clues. This Russell Athletic case was going to be a tough one. 4:23 p.m. Case dismissed. Wolf selection, too big. Wolf Sport Shop in Rockville Center. Whatever the sport, they've got the goods.
Now everyone can afford to fill their lives with music thanks to Frank and Camille's Keyboard Center's 3-day blowout sale. From Thursday, June 2nd to Saturday, June 4th, you'll find incredible savings on Yamaha electronic keyboards. Inventory from all 4 of our keyboard centers will be on display at the Route 110 store in Huntington. So stop in for once-in-a-lifetime savings on Yamaha portable keyboards, digital pianos, and home electronic organs. But remember, the blowout sale lasts only 3 days. Thursday, June 2nd to Saturday, June 4th at Frank and Camille's Keyboard Center, Route 110, Huntington.
Guy out of that A's bullpen, Dennis Eckersley. And Eckersley leads the American League in saves with 16. He will come on to pitch to Gary Ward, Mike Pagliarulo, and Rafael Santana. They are the scheduled 3 batters. Due up here in the top of the 9th inning, Yankees behind 4-3. So Dennis trying to do the job that he has done so well so far for these Oakland A's.
Well, he picked up the victory on Monday night, working 2 innings, giving up 1 hit, no walks, had 2 strikeouts. Yankees got some work to do. Gary Ward to lead it off. He's 0 for 2. Takes the ball and the count 1-0. Eckersley, 33 years old, born right here in Oakland, 6'2", 195 pounds. Can't find the fastball, and the count 1-1. That slider. Yes, he does, says Rick Reed. Gary didn't think he did. Meanwhile, it's a ball and 2 strikes. 4 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Oakland. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Yankees.
Eckersley very tough on right-handed hitters. Slings the ball at you. You don't pick the ball up that quickly off of him.
Tried to sneak that pass one by him. Oh, he's got it all out there. Fastballs, we mentioned Monday. Fastball, slider, change, spitter.
I think he's got one now, huh?
Up high. And the count 2-2. Good competitor. Whole bunch of courage out on that hill.
Changed his whole career around out of the bullpen now.
Got him. 4th strikeout by Oakland pitching this afternoon.
He just pulls the trigger on Gary Ward. You can see the ball and how it tails in on the right-handed batter.
Here's Pags. Pags 0 for 3. Bounced to second, line to second, and gone out deep to right field. Now Santana being called back. Claudell Washington will come out on deck to hit for him. 2-0 the count. Good spot for Pags right here. Jammed it into center field. Easy play for Henderson. Makes the catch, and that's out number 2.
Boy, he got the pitch. He was just a bit behind it. If he had had the bat cranked up about a half a notch more, Pags probably would have hit that ball out of the ballpark.
So they'll talk about Claudell. Washington coming in, hitting at .261, 3 homers. He's knocked in 17. Takes a strike.
called it fair. No?
No. Here comes Tony La Russa out of the Oakland dugout. Well, the count 0-2 to Washington. Oakland trying to even up the season series at 3 games apiece against the Yankees. La Russa now back out of the dugout talking to Rick Reed, home plate umpire.
All this does is take the momentum away from Eckersley.
I agree with you. I'm glad to
there's
see
no
it.
way, there's nothing that Tony La Russa can do as far as changing the mind of the umpire. Eckersley has got momentum going for him now. They're out there stalling the game for maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 minutes. Watch the little tapper right in front of home plate. Now, it looked to me like the home plate umpire was going to call it fair. He didn't really make a quick call, but the first base umpire, John Hirschbeck's the one that called it foul. And that's what La Russa's out there saying as Rich Garcia, the crew chief, came in to explain it to everybody, and now, finally, it's been explained.
Bobby, your point well taken, though. Regardless of what happens here, at least it was. Eckersley still throwing doing the thing there. He had a good rhythm going for him right there. Meanwhile, here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside 1 and 2. Two out, top of the ninth. Line drive by Hubbard, base hit. So Claudell Washington keeps things going with a pinch hit single. And a pinch hitter for Joel Skinner. It'll be the 40-year-old Jose Cruz.
Dave Rigetti continues to throw in the Yankee bullpen.
Cruz in 28 at-bats has just 4 hits. But at least they're still at home plate swinging it back. Short lead by Washington. Eckersley. Long time backing off. Outside, 1-0 the count. Outfielder deep. They're straight away. Henderson just a couple of steps over towards Javier and left. Transferred in close. There goes Claudell. Boy, he had it stolen.
Yeah.
Got a breaking ball fouled away by Cruz. He had a big jump.
Well, you don't take anything away from either one of those players because Cruz, if he gets the right pitch, he's got enough power to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and undoubtedly felt like he had a good pitch from Eckersley, even though Claudell had a good jump. He had the base stolen.
And, of course, that's a heck of a lot easier play for the right-hander hitter than the left-hander. The count 1-1. Passy looking over towards the Oakland dugout. Eck has never had a good move to first base. Over the course of his career, that has been one of the banes, so to speak. One of the reasons he's lost some ball games because of the stolen base. Jose doing the right thing here, slowing things down just a bit. Bobby mentioned earlier, Eckersley likes to get it and throw it. So now we'll see what Washington inching out a little bit further. Good rip by Cruz, can't find it, and the count 1-2. the fans come alive. Many of them starting to stand, looking for the last strike of the ball game. Pitch out, nothing on. Doing Cruz a bit of a favor right there. Gets him back even at 2. A bigger lead by Washington as he has to scurry to get back in. Goes. Ball hit right to Hubbard. He comes up with it over to McGuire, and the ball game is over. So the Oakland A's